Hey, this is Joy, Breaking Curses 101, coming to you live from Orlando, Universal Studios. I lost my party. I gotta go. Hey, it's Joy with Breaking Curses 101, and I am going to tell you today about a man and his deliverance experience as he got delivered from some heavy marine spirit and slave master spirits. This guy was Jamaican man, well, born in the U.S., but his ancestry was Jamaican. Now, I think his dad was Jamaican. His mom was somewhere from the maybe British Virgin Islands, something like that. Anyway, his parents were Caribbean. He is a musician, I believe a rapper. I think I remember that. And he battled all kind of financial issues and relationship issues. All right. Now, this is really crazy, okay? This was a long session. It lasted a good 4 hours. And that's because, I had an initial conversation with him. You guys are like hard to catch up with. Y'all don't like to talk a lot. So it's like pulling things. I got to pull things out of y'all. And then you disappear. I mean, I understand you all are independent and you want to just really take care of all of this on your own. You don't even want to talk to a woman. You don't want to talk to anybody about what you're going through. And you definitely don't want to talk to a woman. So, but thank you for giving me a chance to help you. All right, so here we go. So this man was dealing with some Jamaican mermaids. Those Jamaican mermaids are really hardcore. So he was dealing with some Egyptian stuff because he mentioned Tupac. And where there's Tupac, there's Egypt, okay? And then Lilith manifested. I think Lilith might have been the first one I pulled out. She was the reason his other girlfriend didn't work out. No lie. If I'm lying, I'm flying. So, and then there was two spirit children, and one was named Passion. I think Passion was a spirit spouse, and that Passion had two spirit children. Anyway, so his ex-fiance was from the islands. I'm not going to tell you which one. And the mermaids didn't want them to get married because they would have torn Satan's kingdom down. They broke up this year after being together for a whole year. So they were supposed to get married, but that relationship got botched. I don't know if he tried again, but the relationship got botched. So let me tell you what manifested. Moloch, Lucifer, and Azazel. And these were all like Sumerian names. I'm telling you, some weird stuff came up in this session. So I think it was like a trio of them that worked together to break up this relationship. Moloch, Lucifer, and Azazel. And they came in through a spiritual bath. I never even heard of a spiritual bath. Y'all be coming up with some stuff though. But that spiritual bath let in a lot of marine spirits. It was responsible for him getting hit by a car. Or he got hit by a car, his sister got hit by a car, and his mama had a car accident. All in 2019. And I think, I'm not sure, 2020 or 2000, I'm not sure. Anyway, this car accident spirit came in. It was something over his family. He had trauma from being abandoned by his father, and the most traumatic memory was when he had to search for his father in a bar. That's really traumatic, when you have to go looking for your dad because you really wanted daddy so badly and he's not there. So a lot of men are experiencing a lot of trauma. So he used to have dreams of being held down by something. There was rape in dreams, and he used to dream of being in his old church, in a church that a lot of West Indians went to. So somehow I pulled up, I don't know, the Holy Spirit told me, Poseidon, pull up Poseidon. So I talked to Poseidon. I know that sounds really crazy, but Poseidon manifested, and this is what he said. He was there for 15 generations. He brought in Lilith, Jezebel, Lucifer, and Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, y'all. Aleister Crowley is guiding him to damnation. How did Aleister Crowley get in? This is so weird, but this is what Poseidon brought in. And I believe that was from the spiritual baths. Now, Poseidon, remember, Poseidon is over Lilith, Jezebel, Lucifer, Aleister Crowley, been there for 15 generations, and he brought, the guy starts coughing really, he started sounding like he was, like something was going on in his throat. So I was like, what is that? And he said, smoking. Poseidon brought in smoking. It came in with the spiritual bath. I don't know about you spiritual bath people, but he did a spiritual bath for wealth, right? For wealth and prosperity, and it brought in a smoking habit. He's a rapper. So what do you think smoking is going to do to your rapping career eventually? Okay, so Lilith wanted him to color his hair to attract more mermaids. You men who are dyeing your hair light brown, bronze, getting highlights, you are attracting the marine kingdom. And he has 27 mermaids and 25 spirit children. They wanted to get him to worship Poseidon. Now, the worship of Poseidon in his ancestry 15 generations ago came in through taking a baby in the night of the full moon, putting the baby on the altar, killing him with a dagger, and roasting him on a fire. And they danced around the fire. That is how they worship Poseidon. That's whack, okay? His sacrifices to Poseidon were music. His music is a sacrifice. It's a form. All music is a sacrifice. It's a form of worship. So what are you singing? Whoever you're singing to, that's who you're worshiping. I know that gets all of us. I'm not reading these because I'm not talking about this because I'm perfect. I'm just telling you what's manifesting in my sessions. So all music is a sacrifice. People sign contracts. Poseidon said they sign contracts to give their soul. The words are written. There's hidden words on the contracts, these music contracts, for these musicians trying to make it in the industry. There are hidden agendas and words on these contracts, written in unseen words. And they're unseen because they're written in urine. So what the artists are doing, what the managers are doing is they are sprinkling urine on the contracts. And in the urine, it is saying that you're giving up your assets when you sign the contract. It's not written in ink, it's written in urine. That's disgusting. So the 3 artists that were mentioned that do the urine on the contract were Just Blaze, Swiss Beats, and Timberland Records, which is Justin Timberlake. I'm just saying, y'all, just saying. So when he got his spiritual bath, Poseidon said that's when he owned him. And that's when my mistress came in. This is Poseidon. Poseidon's mistress is named Priscilla. And there were two more spirit children. I can't remember what these things are. Daphne, Violet, Oriana, Misty, Florence, and Isabel. Oh, these are all mistresses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mistresses came in with Poseidon. Violet brought in rape and dreams. Isabella brought in Isabella blocks him from financial success, and she also blocks sexual performance. The spiritual bath brought in curses of poverty, homelessness, homosexuality, perversion of the mind, molestation, deception, manipulation, head fog, cloudy judgment, and the inability to be authoritative. It says, I keep him quiet. I keep him docile. It also keeps him from performing sexually, as if I didn't say that already. But it mentioned it again. I'm like, okay already. Okay. And that's Isabella. And like I said, Isabella, yeah, Isabella's the one. She mentioned herself again. Like, these things are relentless. So Isabella keeps him from performing sexually. The whole goal is to keep him from a relationship with God by putting a trident in his heart. You know what a trident is? The pitchfork. All right. I don't know how the gangster disciples, they do the sign of the pitchfork. That's Poseidon. They think they think it's the sign of the devil. It's Poseidon, y'all. Poseidon. So, but God has favor on him, and that's why he's tall. This man is like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say. He's very tall. Poseidon blocks jobs. He blocks everything. He's sending distractions to even stop the sessions. There's a curse on his mother. Lucifer is the strongest. He came in at birth. He came in through the mother at birth. So his dad is involved with a witch, and the witch put a curse on his mother. That's how it came into the womb. So Lucifer came in at birth because his dad's girlfriend didn't like the mom and put a curse on the mom when the mom was pregnant with him. Okay? Sorry if I'm reiterating too much. So the mom, okay, let me one up this as if that isn't enough. The mother wanted to get the curse off of her, so she went to an Obeah man, and he did a ritual. He lit 3 white candles and 1 black candle. The black candle equals his death. He was supposed to die. He almost drowned. That's when Poseidon was going to take his life. So where there's drowning or fear of drowning or you almost drown, there are mermaids, okay? Now, a Guyanese mermaid woman was the one who gave him the spiritual bath. He didn't know she was a doggone mermaid. You know, he just thought he was doing something. I don't know. People think Jesus is not enough. People think it's not enough to obey God and follow his commandments. So they think they got to do all this extra stuff like join a fraternity, sorority, do some witchcraft rituals, become a Freemason, and get a spiritual bath. Jesus Christ is enough. You just need to know how to apply the authority he already gave you. But when you do all these different things, you're really giving up your authority. All right? So this woman promised that his life would get better and prosperity would come. That's why he took the spiritual bath. And I believe this woman was a neighbor of his. So yeah, she was a neighbor of his. I'm telling you, when you come from an ancestry of witchcraft, the devil will strategically place witches all around you to make sure they ensnare you, to keep you in their kingdom. Now, spirit children. He got a ton of spirit children. They pull at him and drag him and keep him in one place. No progress. They wanted to keep him at his mom's house because the baths were done there. All right. Now, this is when it gets really crazy. Y'all ready for this? All right. I had to switch hands. So, he had, I don't know, I saw a squid, but you know, it takes me a while to really get around to calling this stuff out. Because, you know, it's crazy. And I don't really want to believe what I'm seeing. So he had a squid over him named Sylvester. He had been there for 5 generations. The curses he brought in were confusion, fogginess, lust, perversion, habits, cravings, addiction, sadness, betrayal. It says, I keep him up at night. I force him to eat late at night. I keep him eating sweets, a lot of sugar. Sugar. S-U-G-A-R. Remember that. He eats a lot of sugar. He says, even when he doesn't want to. I said, what do you do with his money? He says, I spread it all over the place. I use my ink to block his path to it. Squids have ink. I guess like octopuses. Anyway. He said, I use my ink to block his path to money. He puts a shroud over him to hide it. He keeps it working. Keeps it working. Oh, the squid keeps him working, and Sylvester takes the money. The tentacles suck his money dry. He said it's a business. People take from him. He works for the money. People take from him, especially the mermaid women. Sylvester bought the family in 1853. So Sylvester's not only a squid, Sylvester is a slave master. Sylvester bought the family in 1853 in Trinidad. And then he relocated the family to Jamaica, man. So Sylvester brought in 2 slave masters. One was Marshall and the other was Theodore. Now this is where it got crazy, because the man went from having a really raspy voice, like he was choking. He went from a choky smoker's voice to a country white dude. Now this is a black man, but he starts sounding like a country white man, like from the 1800s. So he said he's hiding his money in the ocean. Oh, Marshall bought the family in Tennessee in 1854 and 1856, something like that, or somewhere around that time. He says he's hiding his money in the ocean, in the bottom of the sea. He has a lot of gold. A lot of gold. He got a lot of gold. That's what he said. Got a lot of gold. And then he said him and his children are going to work for me. He's going to always work for the white man. That's what he said. He's going to always work for the white man. So he brought in, he said he's very wealthy, but even when he works overtime, I take from him. So this is a hard-working man now. This is a very hard-working man, but the Marine Kingdom takes his money. The slave master says he's going to take his money and keep he and his family working for him. Now, he said he blocks knowledge because he said, I need him to be dependent on me. He said, I need him to be dependent on me. What, is that crazy or what? He brought in 45 spirit spouses. So, how many times did you go through the spirit spouse deliverance class? What, 10 times? This slave master spirit brought in 45 spirit spouses. And I said, where's your contract? So the man reached in his pocket like he was pulling something out. I know, it gets crazy. And this thing said, I said, read the contract. He said, I, Sylvester, from now on, have legal rights to the family till 2026. I said, well, what's supposed to happen in 2026? He said he's supposed to have a baby and sacrifice it to Poseidon. I'm like, this is crazy, y'all. So then we got to the second slave master. So he's still talking country like this. And he said, Theodore Reynolds said he bought the family in 1914 from the slave ship. I said, how many slaves did you kill? And he was like, 15 slaves. He shot them in the fields. He didn't do it, but he had somebody else do it. Because he said he didn't want to get his hands dirty. So he had somebody else do it. So he shot 15 slaves in the fields of Mississippi. And a female slave was even raped. And he said he was buried in an abandoned lot in Mississippi. This is a slave master. I just didn't realize this. You know, I'm not a historian. But Mississippi had slavery till 2013. 2013. That's crazy. So Theodore Reynolds, the slave master, caused him to be a coward. He makes him weak, makes him feel disrespected. He said, I don't want him to be strong and powerful. The devices he put on him were a lasso around his neck, a girdle on his loins to block babies. He put boots on his feet to keep him from moving. He can never relax. I keep him from traveling and seeing new things. He said he caused him to lose his passport. He's supposed to travel and see the world, but Theodore stops him. He sent 2 spirit wives, but he doesn't have any spirit children. One spirit wife is Carla, and the other is Desdemona. Desdemona? Are you kidding me? Okay, so Carla keeps him from achieving and wants acceptance. She shrouded him in rejection. Stops success in school. He put a tie on him to repel good women. Desdemona repels good people who bring fortune and wealth and keeps him by himself. The contract that Theodore has with the family that says, I, Theodore Reynolds, take charge of this family for generations and generations. The curses that Theodore brings in are death, poverty, homosexuality. He brings a leech, sucking other people of energy, spiritual confusion, and struggle. Okay, so then the man started to hiss, right? He started to hiss. And it turned out it was Lilith. Lilith came in at birth when his mother went to the Obia man for protection. And Lilith said she was wrapped around his neck. She's a snake. And he's a rapper, so anything wrapped around your neck is going to cause you to, it's going to bring destruction to your rapping career, your singing career, right? Anything you do with your voice, it's going to mess you up. So Lilith was wrapped around his neck. You see how Satan will attack your gifts at birth? So Lilith blocked his ex-girlfriend from seeing him for who he was. Lilith kept them fighting and arguing and kept the girlfriend sad. Lilith kept him thinking about other women. See, this Lilith wanted to bust up the relationship. You thought that your boyfriend was just a cheater when he got demons. You gotta learn how to fight this stuff. You think, oh, I'm just gonna get a guy with less demons. But guess what? Your demons are calling them in. Your demons can botch up a relationship just as bad as his demons can. And when you get delivered, guess what? Your man gets delivered right along with you. So you need to get delivered, ladies. But this is the crazy part. Lilith said she had a sister named Lynn, and Lynn was in an ex-girlfriend. Lilith wanted him to marry the ex-girlfriend so Lilith and Lynn could be together. Is that crazy or what? That's really crazy. So this whole thing is crazy, y'all. But the thing is, when people get delivered, they see results. Now in my class, Prayer, Praise, and Prophecy, I have a couple of testimonies of women who went through my deliverance school, went through my deliverance sessions, and now they're married. And they talk about the warfare that they went through to get to that point. I know marriage may be the end goal for you, and for some of you, you just want your gifts to be released. Some of you all are done with marriage, and you just want a happy life. You just want to be happy, and you're just tired of all the attacks. But God said, God gave you authority through Jesus Christ, through the Word of God, through the blood of the Lamb, and I'm here to teach you how to use your authority. Now, God bless you, and I will see you in the next video.